Chattar Pattar with Priya. Conversations with ordinary people having extraordinary stories of connection, love, and everything that comes from it. Episode 1 with Bhavesh Sheth and Swati Sheth. Bhavesh and Swati, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show. I am so honored that you agreed. And to start this entire series of Chattar Pattar with Priya with both of you is my absolute joy, not only because you're dear friends, but you are amazing as a couple. And I want the world to experience the two of you and the kind of life you've chosen to live. So, with that, I want you, Swati, to introduce Bhavesh, and Bhavesh, you to introduce Swati in the most beautiful way that you can, in the most loving way that you can, and the most flattering way that you can. So, be creative, introduce your partners.
I know him since 38 years now. So it's been a long journey. So it's a bit difficult to introduce because you know so many aspects of his life. But if I had to say it in a nutshell and what is the most striking to me as a person, then I would say he's an entrepreneur with a heart. Most entrepreneurs are like, you know, they only think of what is the bottom line, right? But Bhavesh thinks with his heart. Like he genuinely would want every person in his office to be happy. He himself is like that. Plus, I would say he's also a very loving and a caring person. A very family man, like you know, out and out family. Like you know, he for him that's of primary importance. This is for me. This is his true identity. Like you know that he's truly a caring person and a genuinely nice person. So I would introduce it like that.
So many beautiful words there. Genuinely caring, entrepreneur with a heart, a family person. Huh? All of this. How is this making you feel, Bhavesh?
Cloud nine.
First, thanks, Priya, for offering this opportunity to us for sharing our feelings. Thanks, Swati, for being so generous in my introduction. If I were to introduce Swati, I would say she is my school, my canvas, and my laboratory.
I'm a lab rat. Yeah.
Uh, my school meaning I have learned, I'm still learning, and I'll continue learning from and through her.
Wow.
My canvas meaning I've had the freedom to paint freely all that I've imagined in life. And my laboratory meaning where and on whom I have experimented so much. And the end result is a crazy friendship from which we have two wonderful kids.
Wow. Now, are you sitting on cloud nine, Swati, with that introduction? Wow.
I really don't know whether to sit on cloud nine or feel like a lab rat, honestly. Because it's a revelation, right? And I've been used as an experiment, a learning tool. But it's quite flattering.
It's flattering, yes, Bhavesh, but trust Swati to cut you down to size. Say that.
Who can do that better than me?
Exactly. So, you know what? It's lovely to hear these beautiful words. It all must have started sometime, and I'd love to know how it all began. So, what's this love story?
So may I take that question?
Of course, please. I would like to know first what he actually thinks about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was at college.
It was in college. How
On
many
the
years?
first day of her senior college,
Okay.
Swati was with her group of friends.
Hanji.
One of those young ladies tried to tease me by saying, "Kya chaal hai?" Yeah. So when I went up to her and I asked, "Did you tell me something?" And she acted as if nothing had happened. She said, "What? Who? Me? No, I don't know." To which I responded, "Okay, you don't know me, then you'll get to know me." And then Swati was standing there silently and she just said, "Please excuse us." And I don't know why, but I immediately obliged and went away. The next day, the same group of girls were standing in the college foyer. And I went up to them and asked, "Any comments today?" And everyone burst into laughter. The ice melt. And then Swati started talking to me, and we spoke for pretty long on that day, mainly about music. On the third day, Swati was absent at college, and her friends asked me if I was looking out for her, and if I was missing her already, well, they all got to know that there was something special about the chemistry we had. Just in 2 days, actually, 1 day of interaction only.
Aww.
And then Swati and I met almost every single day of college and even beyond, and then could not get enough of each other. That was 1985. And till this day, for about 30 or 39 years, we still feel that this is just the beginning of our togetherness, and there are miles to go before we sleep.
And this is the visceral feeling of love when it begins. You can't get enough, and literally you want to spend as much time with the person. So what is it that can keep that feeling alive?
When we enter into this relationship, we both of us were on the same page that this is for life. There cannot be two ways about it. Like, it is not like it may work, it might not work, let's see where it goes. The moment we were with each other and we felt that, I mean, we went to that extent of saying that we wish that we die also at the same moment.
Aww.
So I don't want to live like one day more than you, or any moment less than you. So that was a feeling. So we always thought that come what may, this has to work. So there has never been any baggage, in our relationship that okay, I expected you were this, or he expected. We kind of grew together because I was just 17 and he was 19. So you can say that we grew together, and we enjoyed each and every moment. And the only thing we ever wanted was to get married and start a life together.
Aww.
So it's been such a nice journey. It's a very, what should I say, a very fairy tale kind of a relationship.
Yeah.
And also in fairy tales, sometimes there is a challenge. Like, fortunately for us, or maybe it's just how that we have treated each other, that we have evaded challenges because of the way we feel for each other, that nothing seemed like a challenge.
How do you feel that Bhavesh treated you?
So I would say that, you know, when you're growing up with each other, you care for each other, and then you always give your opinion, which comes out of genuine care. So when you listen to it with a mind that he's saying that from a place of concern rather than why is he preaching me. That it's the attitude problem. Like when people grow out of things, or when they feel, oh, my husband is being a nag or something, it's more to do with because you have a fixed idea how your husband should be. We had never had any fixed ideas about each other. We just went with the flow. So it was very organic. So, and I think we enjoyed the process of having kids and building our life together from nothing, actually. Honestly, like, he's a self-made man. Even I'm a self-made person. Like, there was nothing that we got out of any entitlement. And
Right.
we grew together. We helped each other in our process. So that's what, just being involved in each other's life rather than expecting something, that brought us closer. Rather, because, when there are expectations and it falls short, then there's discontentment. But
Yeah.
here we had nothing and we wanted to grow together.
I'm sensing that there was this childlike joy of thinking, guess what, this happened. Oh, guess what,
Yes.
this happened.
And when something goes right, you feel like, yay, we did it. Like, that kind of feeling you get. So yeah, it's like a very innocent love. Like,
Maybe
it was not garnished with expectation.
maybe on one hand, it's the endeavor to keep exploring and learning independently, and on the other, keep growing together. And in the bargain, keep offering a renewed version of our own self to each other, like strangers. I remember that Hindi song of Mahendra Kapoor. चलो एक बार फिर से अजनबी बन जाए हम दोनों.
So,
Yeah,
Swati and Bhavesh, what's coming to me next, the question that's looming in my head, what would you define love as?
For me, love is just being happy, seeing him happy. And I think when you live together with that feeling, then there is no room for going away from each other. I mean, there are times when we have our disagreements also. It's not like every day is like, you are just talking lovey-dovey or something. And we feel free to fight and disagree with each other. But at the core is not to hurt each other. And also, like, when we have a disagreement, then, to hold, kiss, and make up.
To every relationship, there are three dimensions: love, friendship, and respect. love by itself or respect by itself or friendship by itself is not a relationship. These are features which are there in every relationship. Here, this is a relationship of a husband and wife. That's the roles we are playing for each other. To respect or to make the most of this relationship, we need to balance all the three dimensions. Friendship means where we can communicate completely and honestly, where we can afford to be ourselves. Respect meaning every thought, word, and deed of yours should facilitate the self-esteem of your partner. And love, the most important part is love. Love, again, as we humans understand, is on three dimensions: physical love, mental love, and spiritual love. I feel we are spiritual beings on a human journey, and all love between humans is limited. I personally believe the only complete and true love is the one which God has for us. We cannot love completely. And to fulfill that completely, we should merge with that primordial energy, that supreme reality, whichever name you may understand or call by, to reach the point of perfect love is reaching and merging with that. And the institution of marriage is perhaps the only institution which offers us the opportunity to live a complete life, savoring all the pleasures of marriage, yet sailing across this vast ocean successfully and merging with that primordial reality together. So, if I truly love her, we would like to attain moksha together. That is my concept of love.
Is he as spiritual like this with you all the time, Swati? I want to know this.
Yeah, he is like, even romance is spiritual for him. For me, romance is very romantic.
Yeah.
And for him, it is like that. But, if he was also like me only, then there would be nothing, like you'd get bored, right? So I am the reality check and he is the spiritual.
And he's the spiritual guide, shall I say.
Yes.
So, you know what I want to know from you? What's that one thing you love about him the most? And what's that one thing you need to still tolerate about him? So let's add some humor.
As far as the tolerating part goes, let's go to that first. Actually, there is nothing that I tolerate about him. I abhor that word. Honestly, like if there's anything to tolerate in a relationship, it's best done away with. What we can do is give each other space to grow. Like if we don't like something, but we still accept it, right? And loving a person's like it's about things not happening your way 50% of the time, right? Because we both are living together, we can't both have our way all the time.
Correct.
Yeah. And also, like, as long as he knows that the wife is always right, things cannot go wrong. We believe in that the wife is always right. Let 51% things happen my way. Yeah. And 49% things happen your way. Oh God. but yeah, honestly, there is nothing that I have tolerated. Of course, that a lot of times you would feel that I wish he wouldn't react like this or he would think differently. But then I feel that there's nothing much to sit and grumble or sulk about.
Right.
It's all right. That's his personality, and that is what I loved about him initially. Now I can't, complain. When you care for somebody, irrespective,
yes.
It's a very beautiful attribute to have. I mean, saying I love you is lip service, but then when you have to show love, you have to show it through your care, right?
Yes.
And I think that he does it beautiful. Like, he's been there. Like, if sometimes I get tired and he said, you don't worry, you rest, I'm there. So there's small things. Like, love is not some one big action that you take once in a lifetime. It's, the small things that happen every day in your life, which comes across and touches you. And you feel comfortable, safe with that person. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I feel with him. Like, genuinely that, whatever goes wrong, even if it's uncomfortable truth, I know that, he will address it and he'll still be there for me, So it's the feeling that he's given to me that I'm there for you.
Awesome. Bhavesh, your turn. What is it that you love about Swati the most?
what I love about her is the one thing I'm tolerating also. She's a very genuine person. So she's someone with fearlessness, boldness, and straightforwardness. But then it's these same qualities which at times make her a bit deficient in diplomacy. So sometimes I feel she's not diplomatic enough. But then I realized that this is a double-edged sword, and I accept her the way she is.
Anyway,
so genuine.
I didn't apply for diplomacy. I don't want to be a diplomat. I want to be a wife, a lover, and a mother, and other roles, but definitely not a diplomat.
Place for diplomacy.
There's Jay Shankar.
So this brings me to a question. It's about authenticity, right? In any relationship, very often, like we know about this iceberg effect, like there is, which is like human beings are like that. We show only a certain part of ourselves to the world and to our partners, right? There's a certain part we keep hidden behind that. I just wanted to understand that, is there a need for you as a couple to do that? Or are you completely authentic, completely bare your souls to each other? The coming together of two people, literally like, a train track, shall I say, and moving along, on this journey together. And it can never be that one track is higher than the other. They're both always at the same level. They're always going together, parallelly going in whichever twists and turns. And the beauty of a relationship is that. So that's what I want to ask you. Is it critical to have that authenticity, that equality, that sense of, you and I are partners in this relationship?
We need to be very genuine, authentic, and honest.
Right.
However, at times, you need not share everything, because sometimes not sharing 100% is in the best interest of your partner.
And, I understand that, and I relate to that. But do you feel that sometimes that creates misunderstandings in relationships, or does it not? What do you think?
You're right, it does.
Yeah.
It can, potentially it can, but then it again comes to how well you can balance between being genuine and trying to keep some things away out of care. So you need to keep on balancing. The moment you lose the balance, you've had it. Yeah. Right. So you need to tilt it more towards being communicative and genuine. So you're trying to safeguard your partner, should not be overdone, so that it should not misfire or get into any misunderstanding.
Sure. Swati, what do you think about this?
So I think, see, there are 24
authenticity piece. Yeah.
So there are 24 hours in a day. So it's almost impossible to tell everything to your husband. Otherwise, only 12 hours we would live, and 12 hours would be sharing.
Out of the 12 hours that you're
and then sleep time also. So you may be living, and so sorry, I got my math wrong. But but what I mean to say is that then there's hardly you're hardly living a life. Right. But when we say that authenticity is that when you're sharing, like whatever it is, then is at that time you are genuine and honest. Yeah. So you don't have to share everything. But what happens? I think sometimes people share the most stupidest things which don't require to be shared, and they leave out the most important thing which is to be shared. Right. So we would talk about things that matter to us rather than all these trivial things, which have the potency of becoming a big thing. Right. So when you talk about things that matter to both of us, then the relationship grows.
Yes. Let me give an example what I meant. Say, for example, there is a financial challenge in business where some customer is not paying up. I don't want to stress Swati unnecessarily, because within a week's time that customer is going to pay. So why should I necessarily subject her to some stress which is not necessary at all? So
I'll interject over here. Like, he says that because I truly get stressed, by that. Yeah. But I know that if my customer doesn't pay me, and if I tell him, he doesn't get stressed by that. I will see that, oh shit, that this guy is paying up. It is very important to know what stresses the other person, and you share accordingly. Very nice. In that spirit. So it doesn't have to be everything has like how he behaves have to behave.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I have to judge that what is it that will not leave a crease line on his forehead, and I can still share, and which will, which will make him happy or which will help me grow as a person.
Beautiful.
So it's both ways. But so I wouldn't shy away from telling, like, listen, yeah, this guy is really acting weird. He's not paying up, or he's doing this and all that. That's my way of venting. And then after 2 minutes, I feel so nice because I've let it out of my system. But
Yeah.
for him, he's right, because anything that disturbs him disturbs me immediately. So
Right.
he like to keep that away because he knows that this is what will affect her.
Because he knows that you don't like to see the crease line.
Yeah.
On his
And
forehead.
Bhavesh, like, being a seasoned businessman, is okay, this is part of it, but I listen to it, and that because it makes me feel good that I've said it.
Wonderful.
So
What a
it's
lovely
it's
balance.
like that. So it's like balance. So you shouldn't take, oh, he does this, so why should I not do that? Life
Right.
doesn't work out that way. You
Right.
have to understand the partner, and this understanding can come only if you genuinely love and care for each other. It just can't come out of some training, like
Right.
that. Oh, I've been raised like this, so I think like that. No, you have to genuinely feel it. Only then you can understand and behave accordingly.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. There's an interesting thing that somebody shared with me, that when you come home, keep all the worries of work and the stress that's outside. Don't bring it in the house. Joyful, be happy, and, spend the good times together instead of getting sad times, or, bringing the stress into the house. What do you think of that?
Okay, so I kind of don't believe in that, honestly. I
Sure,
have to
sure.
bring all my stress and worries home.
Yeah,
And
because you
I
know
discuss it with my family, with my
it.
kids.
Yeah.
And I get wonderful insights from them.
Wow.
So if I was just keeping it back, then when I go to work, I would always be stressed because that's where it reminds me of the stress. But when I
Mm.
come and share it with the family, I've offloaded it. It's also how you say, like, you don't have to come and whine about it. I mean, what would you do if you were in my place, or how would you address a problem?
And I think how you involve them, or,
Yes,
ask their opinion.
and that's a way of sharing like that. That way they'll know also what's happening in my life.
Beautiful.
Because once you start working and once you have kids and all that, so the time that we used to give each other was much more before.
Yeah.
Now, after the kids have grown up, we need to have a conversation with them also, apart from, like, now we have raised them. So
Correct.
we would like the element of friendship with them also. So you're, actually dividing time with each and every person.
Right.
So this involves the entire family.
Right.
Like, when you say that, listen, I have a problem, everybody is like, ears are up. Oh, you have a problem? And everybody loves to be a problem solver also, It's a human nature. I think that's a beautiful binding thing. Bring your problems home, but don't whine. Bring, share,
Don't
and
Find
find
solutions.
answers to that
together.
solution. Not
This is bringing me to another question, that, every relationship, has challenges of some sort, in some measure. Some people have a lot more challenges, some have smaller. What challenges, for example, did your family or the two of you as a couple overcome together? And how did that sort of bring you both closer? What are the learnings you had?
I'll take that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree that it's just not possible not to have challenges.
Yeah.
All of us do face challenges
Yeah.
all the time of varying intensities.
Right.
I believe there are primarily three types of challenges which most of us face.
Right.
It's either health related, or money related, or relationship related, right? Uh, we too have had our share of challenges. It was primarily about people and relationships. See, I believe everyone is good. Each one of us has that element of divinity within us. However, some relationships, after some time, for whatever reason, they get toxic. And that toxicity developed in one relationship spills over to some other important relationships. It's then that we have to make a choice. To be specific, in our case, one was about a college friend and the other was about a sports teacher, both of whom lied and manipulated and tried to create some misunderstanding between Swati and me. Swati read them clearly much before me and also warned me about them. But then they were such smooth talkers, and that it took me some time to realize and gather the necessary courage to put them out of my life. So I wish them good luck and a happy, healthy life. But yeah, they're best kept away from our lives. Yeah, so that was a challenge, and
Can I add something to this?
Please, I'd like you to know.
I always feel that in a relationship, it's not only about two people, it's also about uh, your natural phases of life. You react to each phase very differently. And so with God's grace, we haven't had any serious, relationship challenges or health challenges or financial challenges. But in relationships, I feel that when you hit 40, that's the time when your kids have grown up and they start asserting their independence. And also at that time, you are also settled, like kind of financially and in your work and everything. And you start taking stock of your life. And yeah, and also you and your partner have grown. Sometimes you grow differently. And when you reach 40, I've noticed this, like, that people take stock of their lives. So we all go through that.
Right.
So it is at that point of time that whether the intention is to move out or stay. And if it is to stay, then you will find solutions together. And I feel that we also had a lot of arguments or disagreement. We say, listen, I'm sick of it because it's such a long relationship, like.
Yes.
But after the argument was over, like, we just organically just go to each other, hold hands, kiss, and make up.
Yeah.
So and then you slowly learn, okay, that he's evolved in this manner. I have gone here, and there's always a meeting point. It doesn't have to. You don't have to part for that. You can still give each other that space, respect each other, and still be happy. So it is, since the day you met till the point, is very important. Like, what memories you have created for yourself, what genuine care and love and affection and bonding you have created for each other, because only that will hold you on. Otherwise, it's very easy to exit. It's very difficult to make it work. And when you make it work, trust me, it's like, in your youth, you are surfing on waves because it gives you a thrill. But then you find your still water. And when you're in still water, you can really enjoy life with each other again. So I think 40s is a time to retune, reset.
Those memories that you started literally from that time when, you said, excuse me, please. And from there, here, right? This brings me that how do you deal with disagreements?
We talk it out and communicate clearly without worrying how would the other person feel about it. Because what's more important that the mind is clear and the heart is clean. This is one relationship where we can afford to be ourselves.
Yeah. This is also bringing me to the question that if you were to turn back the clock, okay, to the time from when she started and she said, excuse me, please, to now, is there any phase you feel, something that you would like to redo and something that could be changed in a manner that you could have a different today or not?
No, actually nothing. See, not that she is perfect or I am perfect or that our relationship is perfect. No, but we believe that it is these imperfections which make life perfect.
Swati?
I would say the same thing. There's nothing I want to change. I think we perfectly fit like yin and yang. Right. So I just feel that when you view each other as one unit, then you will make up for each other's faults or shortcomings. Then things fall in place. Then there is nothing like, okay, there are disagreements, fine. And as I have already told you that I'm always right, I'm barely wrong. So, I mean, so there's not much to think, right? So how that disagreement is settled then?
Yeah.
But you know what? I might say all this, but I'm the one who always goes to him.
Aww.
But this is like, whitewashing history.
Aww. So, as a couple, I'm going to ask some questions now, and this is like the fun part. All right, Bhavesh, what is Swati's favorite film?
Trishul.
No, I don't have a single movie which is my favorite, but Trishul is definitely not one of them. But I would lean more towards Anand.
And why Anand?
No, I think I can watch it anytime. And, there's one simple message that leading a happy life more than a long life, just kind of resonates with me. It's my personality that I don't give a shit whether I live for 70 or 100 or whatever life God has given me. I want to be healthy, fit, happy, and that's it. So that kind of resonates with my ideology, like my philosophy. So I like it, and I like the way it's being treated also.
Yeah. And Swati, what is Bhavesh's most favorite film?
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. Okay. Is
Okay,
it?
Gil.
Huh? It is?
Yeah, Enter the Dragon and 30th Chamber of Shaolin and such martial art films. I love action.
Tell me a little bit about that. What brought martial arts into the family?
I believe that each one of us should have our warrior spirit uh, awakened all the time. Like how in the Indian culture there are four varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In today's day and age, everyone wants to be a Vaishya, only a businessman. Everyone is after money. But I think all of us should have all these four dimensions very much alive to keep a perfect balance. So I would like every girl and boy today to be a martial artist because it inculcates a lot of respect for our own self and others. And you transcend most of your defilements, especially fear. You realize that the body is an amazing set of armaments. Whatever your size and shape and age and form, you can still defend yourself against anyone. So there's nothing to be afraid of. And there is so much beauty in our body, in our whole being, and then delving deeper into the mind and the soul, and let the spiritual power within you manifest at the mental and physical level also. So it's an endless journey, and it's also a perfect and complete art and science.
Bhavesh was always into martial arts. I was never into it. Yeah. And it's when he was going to appear for his black belt exam that I had visited his camp, and I saw them doing what they were doing, and I fell in love with it. And but at that time I had two small kids, so I decided that when my kids join martial arts, I'll go with them. So I was 35 when I started my journey. Since then, I'm 56 now.
Wow.
So since the last 21 years, I've been involved in it.
Wow, that's also a really long journey in martial arts.
It's a long journey, and I'm still practicing.
Awesome.
And also, of course, as Bhavesh said, that it's a very good. Whatever he said, I endorse that. And but apart from that, like, I genuinely feel that it kind of just empowers you, like from your body language. Like, people don't mess with you. Nobody messes with me, actually, honestly. I know so many men would like to be in my pants, but they don't dare mess with me.
Wow. Who is your partner's celebrity crush, Bhavesh?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay, is it true?
Yeah, it was till this time, but now I don't have a crush on any like hunks or anything like that. I just feel that I love myself, and I want myself, because I love myself, I want myself to grow, evolve, not be stuck somewhere. Keep my doors open.
Awesome. Lovely. Love it. And Swati, who is Bhavesh's favorite crush?
Like Deepika Padukone and Sonali Bendre and Ravina Tandon,
Oh my!
I think he wouldn't mind adultery in this case. But I forgive him. Okay, everybody should do what they enjoy at least once in their lifetime and realize that they were with the best.
What according to you is, but in marriage, in any relationship, when adultery happens, is there a path back from it?
I think we are paying too much attention to adultery. Like, it can happen, but what's the most important thing to be seen is that the intent. Is it a chronic problem, or was it that it just happened? Because the dynamics of a man and woman can never change just because you're married. And our ideal are Ram and Sita, what we aspire to be, like, always be in love and always, be together and care and love each other. And I feel that sometimes, like, if adultery happens, then that does not mean that it ends the love, care, everything. So it also depends on how you look upon it and how the situation, what was the circumstances under which it happened. So there are a lot of things which go into it. Of course, there will be heartburn. I mean, and you'll ask your question, can I trust this person, like, be it like man or woman again?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But then you have to look into your past history.
Right.
And at present, how is the spouse reacting to it? What is his take on it? And what does he intend to do about it?
Right.
And then if you can grow again back together, then it works out. But if you feel that, no, come what may, I cannot get out of this car, then it's best that you part. But if the relationship is strong,
Right.
and you feel that, no, I think I made a mistake, or I erred, or I gave in to that
Temptation.
to the temptation, or then I think that it's stupidity not to all the time hold it, because a marriage is not only about sex.
Yeah.
It's not only about two bodies.
Yeah.
There's a lot more things involved, families, kids, and I'm not just saying it as if it's some kind of a responsibility and duty, which it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are emotions involved apart from having a physical relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and sometimes, you cave in, or sometimes you feel that you are not satisfied enough.
Yeah.
But you still love the wife, and you might err.
Yeah.
But what do you intend? Do you want to keep up with the other relationship also and have have the cake
And
and
that's
so it all depends. And at that time, how you have judged your spouse is very important. I would not say judge, actually, I would use the word assessed.
yeah.
Assessing and judging are two different things. We always confuse assessment as judgment.
Right.
Not be judgmental, but definitely assess.
Yes.
So it is very important, and it is possible to come out of it.
Wonderful.
But you have to work upon it.
Right. There is
And
work.
the intention has to be from both the sides.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it takes two to tango. It can't be just one-way street.
Correct.
It completely depends on the relationship that you have built with your husband.
Lovely.
And your family. And what is more important to you? Are your sexual advances or your needs more important to you, for your family? What is it? Where do you see yourself? And I always say that, you might like somebody else, but who's to know, like, when you get married to that person, whether you will not have another set of problems.
Correct. And I like the word you used. You said assess the situation.
Yes.
What happened? How? When?
Yes.
What's the cause of it? What's the backdrop of it? And, then take a call jointly together and
Yes.
make it something that you both work towards. It's literally like tangoing back into the relationship, if at all. So I love that. Bhavesh, what would you like to say about this?
The probability of interaction between men and women has increased more than ever before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the men of the society should be a little more accepting of free women. How I behave with other women will be how other men will behave with the women of my life. If I don't want my wife or daughter or sister to be looked upon or treated vulgarly or badly by someone else, I would be very sure about myself first. I would treat all other women with great respect. Having said that, the probability of emotional and sexual accidents happening is more than ever before. So, in our society, our culture and the systems have still protected the society to a great extent. We are amongst the finest societies in the whole world today. So many societies of the West, especially, have crumbled on this count. So the human being today does not know how to deal with this challenge.
Right.
There are multiple dimensions to this, which of course would be a different subject altogether. But in brief, what I can say is number one, it should start from education and inculcating the right values in the male child first. Two, value-based education to both men and women. Third, sex education so that people's attitude about sex is very healthy. Four, uh, people should be very clear that you marry a friend who you would like to grow with.
Mm-hmm.
The woman of the house is not a piece of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it would be very interesting, rather more in the interest of the man, if the woman also keeps on growing all throughout so that he has a very interesting partner who is living his life with.
Kind of differ with him on certain things.
Sure.
Like, I just feel that we have made this man out to be some monster by saying that that it was okay for him to be adulterous. I don't think most of the men were.
Yeah.
In even the, like, when you see my father or something, that generation, our fathers, I don't think they ventured out. They're very minuscule percentage who ventured out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't think that it was the case. I think it became acceptable because when you see, the women were basically, because of whatever stage in life we were, the women were the homemakers, and they were involved in the raising kids, and they didn't step out of the house as much as the man did. And
Sure.
that time we have to understand that there were no computers, technology to help women out, so it was always the outside world was a little hard, so the man was the person who was venturing outside.
Right.
So the probability of him having an accident was higher, and it was not because of the way he was raised. I think every mother taught the son to be I would say in some sort
Exclusive to his
not
wife.
only exclusive, to
A
be a
good human being.
good
A good
human
human
being.
being. Yeah.
Yeah, and be take care of the wife.
Right.
But things happen, so I don't look upon it like that, that we have to raise our sons like that, or like today's I would say that today the women are actually misusing the power that is being given by laws.
Hmm.
So I don't think so. Anybody who has the ability
Mm-hmm.
to wield power to their advantage are making use of it. So it is, I think it's more about, less about sex education, more about value education.
Right. And I think the objective of the question was that when adultery happens, is there a way to come back and rediscover? And I really liked what Swati said, that as long as there is an intention from both and the work can be done by both, and you're willing to go back into the arena again and tango together with that intention that that happened, and assess the situation, that will it happen again? Is this a pattern? Is this something that's going to remain? Then assess and take a decision together.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one last thing that's coming to me. What is a song that you would like to dedicate to Bhavesh, Swati? And could you sing 2 lines of that for us?
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं ये धरती, ये नदियाँ, ये रहना और तुम।
क्या बात है, सुपर। भावेश, आपका गाना स्वाति के लिए क्या डेडिकेट करते हैं आप?
जनक जनक तोरी बाजे पायलिया, जनक जनक तोरी बाजे पायलिया, प्रीत के गीत सुनाए पायलिया, जनक जनक तोरी बाजे पायलिया।
वाह वाह वाह, संगीत और प्यार का मिश्रण तो कहें तो यहीं पर है आप दोनों के बीच में. एंड मे इट ऑलवेज बी सो. Bhavesh and Swati, the word genuine and care has come so often in this entire time we've been talking together. I think it becomes like the foundation of any beautiful relationship when you are genuine and when you care. And when those two things are there, it's very difficult for anything to go wrong. And
Okay,
God bless.
can I
Yeah.
just say one thing,
Yeah.
Priya? I think the journey of a husband and wife is the most challenging journey.
It is. Yeah.
Just because it's the longest.
Yeah.
So it's like, you are there together forever. So
Mm.
I would say that feel love and then get married.
Mm.
Feel love and sustain that love. Like and know that, with every person you can have new excitement, but then you will also import new problems.
Mm.
When you've decided, that this is for life, then
Right.
stick to it and make it work.
And how do you know? How do you know that he is the one? How do
I'll tell you how when you don't look at a list of what he has and what he can do. Like I didn't know also, like, when I fell in love, that whether Bhavesh lived in a small house or a big house, or whether his father had money, he didn't have money, whether he had a car or he didn't have a car.
Mm.
All I knew is that I'd like to be with this person and I want to be with him.
Mm.
So it didn't matter what he had. So when other things stop mattering, then you can pay attention on love. But when
Wow.
other things matter, then love is compromised.
Beautiful. So nice. भावेश कहाँ मिली आपको ये कौन सा कॉलेज था वो?
Yeah. Yeah. Popodar College. Yeah. Matunga, Mumbai.
Pattar College, Matunga was the place where you two beautiful souls met. And from that, excuse me, please, with these happy smiles today, I'm so happy.
Yeah. About marriage, one thing is, yeah, it's only primarily, majorly about being the right partner.
And how
Yeah.
do you be the right partner?
Surrender to whatever you've been blessed with an attitude of gratitude. I think God will help you make the best of all that you've been, given in your life.
Life can be a beautiful journey if you choose your partner right.
Yeah.
And you choose to stay put with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a beautiful journey. You can you write your own destiny.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be like, what should I say? I don't know. Like, I just, it's just been a happy life for me. So
Aww.
it can be beautiful, like, how be nice to each other.
Right. Thank you for sharing your journey. I have loved listening to your story. My biggest joy comes from listening to people's stories, and you all have literally been so generous with your sharing. Thank you for everything.
Priya, I have to thank you because it made us fall in love with each other again.
Oh,
Especially when we are answering and we said, like, and it's like falling in love again.
Oh, God bless you guys.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you on this such interesting venture. We would like to be your listeners on a regular long-term basis. So thanks once again and all the best to you.
This was such a joy. And what a beginning. What a beautiful coming together of two souls who aim to be like Ram and Sita. I love Bhavesh's saying that we are spiritual beings on human journey, that we need to continuously explore, learn, and grow together, and offer a renewed version of ourselves to our partners. And while Bhavesh is so philosophical and spiritual in his way of being, Swati is unapologetically romantic. And just like Bhavesh says, she is so authentic and so bold. From Swati, what stayed with me is not to have any fixed ideas about each other. Being in the flow, in an organic process, by being involved in each other's lives, and not adding any expectations into the relationship, and being like the yin and yang. They appear to be so different at the outset, but their genuine care and love shines through and brings forth an innocent love. I hope you enjoyed listening to this one as much as I did curating it, listening to them, and then editing and presenting it back to you. I look forward to seeing you every week on Chattar Pattar with Priya.